It is 27th of June 2025 and we welcome you to SSBC 8 p.m. News. I am Akuch Maker and now we begin with South Sudanese women leaders during the conclusion of the Women Leaders Conference have reignited their calls for increased participation in peace building, governance and national development by signing a resolution that underscores their collective commitment to shaping a more inclusive and peaceful nation. We have the report.
In a renewed push to address challenges to gender equity in political representation and equal opportunities in the country, participants at the conference emphasized the urgent need for full implementation of the 35% affirmative action provision as stipulated in the revitalized peace agreement, with women leaders fiercely signed a resolution that underscored their collective commitment to inclusion. Vice President and Chairperson for Service Delivery Cluster, Josephine Joseph Lago, commended the participants for their active advocacy for equal opportunities, highlighting the government's ongoing commitment to advancing girl education as a cornerstone for sustainable and transformative change.
The responsibility here for the older women is that you encourage younger girls who are of school age to go to school. And when they go to school, let them remain in school. They should not be removed from school. They should not be distracted with early marriage and anything like that. They should remain in school. And if they have the capability, let them also go to university. Let them go to colleges. Let them go and graduate as doctors, lawyers, engineers. Let them become politicians in the future. Let them become teachers. We have challenges, but we also have opportunities. This is what we can do to encourage the younger generation of girls and women to ensure that they actually take advantage of education.
The Speaker of National Parliament, Right Honorable Jema Nunu Kumba, emphasized that sustained political will is crucial for the successful completion of the transitional period and for South Sudan is long-term peace and development.
The concerns raised here by all of you about gender equality, inclusive participation, protection of women and girls' rights, and the necessity for sustained political will are critical for the successful ending of the transitional period and beyond. It is our responsibility as leaders to champion these issues, advocate for the implementation of the peace agreement, advocate for gender-sensitive policies, advocate for holding elections at the end of this transition, and ensure that the voice of women, girls, and other marginalized groups are prioritized in decision-making processes.
The Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Medina Y. Martin, reiterated that South Sudanese women have the potential to foster peace and drive development if they are granted equal opportunities.
We have interacted with different stakeholders and we have gained confidence in this conference. This is the assurance that we are ready to participate and we are ready to advocate for peace, to be peace builders, to advocate for girls' education, to advocate for development in this country.
It's been about peace, it's been about South Sudan, it's been about women's inclusion. That's what it should be. So what's next? That's down to you. But don't stop. Keep going here in Juba and take this to the States. But for UNMISS, we'll support.
And civil society representative concluded with a strong commitment to champion initiatives that empower women and girls.
The 2 days women conference was organized by the Concerns for Women and Children, the organization of the First Lady, with support from United Nations in South Sudan. Ayuering Arop, and this is SSBC News, Juba.
Thanks, Ayun, for that report. Now, in a related development, participants at the conclusion of the Women Leaders Conference have emphasized the importance of including South Sudanese women in the decision-making process as pursued in the law. They also recommended the expansion of adult education centers aimed at providing underprivileged women with access to education later in life. We have the report.
Against the backdrop of persistent challenges to gender parity in political representation and equal opportunities during the transitional period, South Sudanese women leaders, under the guidance of the First Lady Mary Ayan Mayadit, have convened to address these issues to pave the way for the greater inclusion of the women in leadership and decision-making roles as a component of broader socio-economic development. The discussion focused on the expansion of the vocational training centers for women, the construction of affordable housing and healthcare facilities for vulnerable women, and increasing awareness around environmental issues. The Undersecretary in the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Esther Ekere Eluzai, challenged women to use the insight gained to raise awareness about the pollution and the climate change, which disproportionately affect women and children across the country.
When we talk about climate change becomes a multiple threat multiplier, because already we have existing issues, existing contexts where women are very vulnerable. But when climate change comes in, it creates multiple problems to women within the communities. So it affects resource, it affects displacement, but also it brings on issues of competition, which leads to conflict.
Representing the First Lady, the chairperson of the Board of Directors for Concern for Women, Mary Nyaulang, commended participants for their active engagement in advocating for gender equality policies that recognize the vital role of women in nation building.
In closing, I would like to remind each of you that you are the embodiment of hope and resilience. As we move forward, let us do so with determination and shared vision for a brighter, more equitable future for women and children everywhere. Thank you for your dedication, your passion, and your unwavering commitment to this important cause.
Participant Representative Susan Adwok Nyaba echoed the call for unified disarmament of the armed militias to allow women safely return to their societies, to engage in agriculture and pursue their education.
First and foremost, we have an issue of armed militias in the country. If the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Interior, together with the Presidency and the Ministry of Interior in the states, if they could disarm these armed militias, I think our women and children can go back to the states and gain education and knowledge. And that is how we can bring up our leaders, our future leaders.
Karina Ajok, Secretary for Gender at the South Sudan National Youth Union, highlighted the need to establish adult education centers in rural areas across all the levels of societies, enabling women to pursue the education and contribute to the nation building.
We are there as representatives, but we have no voice. So we need implementation of 30% of ours to be given. We have understood in this conference that there is a need of engagement, not criticism. Leadership, not victimhood. We need ideas, not gossip. Love, but hatred. So, for us women who are ahead, we have to love ourselves, we engage the government, and we lead.
The conference concluded with the signing of the resolution Concern for Women and Children and the United Nations Mission in South Sudan. Reporting for SSBC, I am August Keun, Juba.